That's another great question.
Today, will be a swamp dragons, and Cameron Mallow's going to talk. Cameron.
I want to thank for this invite. This is a very special occasion for me. Quick little background on how it all got started. I never imagined it would go this far. So I started doing research and trying to find out stuff. People said, oh, they were nothing but a bunch of murdering thugs. And I said, there's more to it than that, I'm sure. And I go around asking questions, and we don't want to hear about them. And so over the years, I've gathered information, which is an upcoming book coming up soon. I'm hoping to have it all written by midsummer and get it to a publisher. One little reminder, Grant County didn't exist. Units we'll be talking about is they were from Pendleton, Hardy, and Randolph County. And then you got one of my ancestors, Captain Michael Mallow, who commanded Company C. Then you have Hardy County, which was another ancestor of mine, Captain Daniel C. Michelle. His company will go on to become part of Company I, of the 7th West Virginia Infantry. And that's why I also live in the story of the 7th, because of them leaving the mountains, going over the mountains to join the 7th.
Unmute me!
Listen to me, you whining little whelp.
From the Gettysburg Tour Studio.
Hi, this is Bo Brinkman.
All the DJs say this one's on its way. Number 1.
You think I have something to do with science?
Shut up!
You're listening to From Studio 1A.
The popular podcast Addressing Gettysburg.
Grab the bolt and hurt my neck.
Addressing Gettysburg today.
Hello, exactly!
Oh man! Oh man! Oh man! Oh man! Oh man! Oh man! Oh man!
Yes. Oh, man, indeed. Cameron Mallow really enjoying himself. Hello, Ronnie. How are you? You're welcome back, Ronnie.
Thank you.
You are back.
All rested and recuperated from the big birthday bash celebration that was last weekend.
I know. Well, yeah. So, how did Thad Fest go?
It went off without a hitch.
Good.
Yeah, there were 3 locations: Lancaster, here, and Caledonia, and everything was received well. I mean, just super happy for Ross and the society and the sculptor.
That sounds like a huge undertaking, having 3 events at 3 different locations, not even in the same town.
Yeah.
I mean, I could see in the same town is a little easier, but
Sure.
yeah, you run it. So each day was at a different place.
Yeah.
and
Lancaster History helped out on Friday's events. They hosted the group for a tour. Well, we really weren't supposed to be in there because there's no occupancy permit, but the Thaddeus Stevens house in Lancaster is being transitioned into a museum, and they took us around. It's literally down to the bare bones, and took us all around there and what they think was maybe possibly an underground railroad site. We weren't down in the basement, but they showed us as much as they could.
They found the tracks.
Yeah.
And did I think next year, is he going to do this every year? Or
No,
like something?
This
or just
was, well, I think they celebrate his birthday every year. I know they do with a ceremony at his gravesite. The Thaddeus Stevens College of Technology, which he established through an endowment after he passed away, they honor him every year with the ceremony at his grave. That's always, I guess, the weekend of his birthday, which is April 4th. But this was just a big deal because of the statue dedication, and it happened to be his 230th birthday.
Okay. Well, good. So it went off well. And now the statue is very nice. I do have a question, though, because a lot of people ask me, and I don't know the answer.
All right.
What is he supposed to be doing in this statue? Is he drunkenly stumbling? Is he walking? What is he doing?
No, so actually, all joking aside, there's a lot of symbolism in the statue. And sculptor Alex Paul Loza did a fantastic job on a couple different occasions explaining the symbolism. So if you know anything about Thaddeus Stevens, obviously a staunch abolitionist, pretty much the father of the 14th Amendment, he's clutching in his hand a copy of the 14th Amendment, and it's held close to his heart in his hand.
Okay.
He was born with a club foot, which was obviously a disability, but the sculptor chose to put that foot forward to show that his disability did not hold him back, that he was making progress even with, that was symbolic of the disabilities he had in trying to get people to realize slavery is bad.
Right.
Abolition is, good. Equality is good. Public education is good. Those kinds of things.
Right.
If you look at the edges of the jacket, they're kind of like wind blown back, and that's also symbolic of him.
He's going against the wind.
And going against the political wind. So there's a lot of symbolism in it.
So he's walking into the wind, basically.
He's in the act of walking while was moving forward. His head is twisted just a little bit to symbolize that he's always listening to the people. But he's focused ahead. There's never really been a photo that I'm aware of that's caught him smiling, right?
Right. Not many people smiled back then.
Right. That's true. You're right. But always very stoic,
Everything was
almost
very
like
black and white back then. Too.
Right.
Quite literally.
It was all grayscale.
He was all grayscale. They saw that way, and their colors were either black, white, or gray.
Right.
Or brown.
Right.
Yeah, but go ahead.
No, but that's it. Always just a look of determination. All the symbolism from head to toe was purposeful. So
he does kind of look like he's moving forward at the trot.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, I mean, he I think there's just a tinge of a grade in the sidewalk there too.
So
and I think that kind of adds a
his,
little bit to it, unfortunately.
Well, especially when he had his ghost costume on like 2 weeks ago.
Oh yeah.
But you could only see like from the mid calf down. It kind of looked like he was moving forward at a run.
I was. Yeah, the other day, a couple days after it was put up, I was turning right onto Middle Street, and I just caught a glimpse of it out of the corner of my eye. And you know how the wayside marker in front of him, that's very level.
Right.
But I thought he was falling over. Like, I had to do a double take because the way it looked, it like really exaggerates the angle that he's leaning at.
Yeah,
and I thought it was falling over for a second, and then I realized, no, that's the end. So that's why I was at. And a lot of people ask me, like, what the hell is he supposed to be doing? So I'm glad you clarified.
Moving forward is the point of that. Like I said, unfortunately, the geography of that particular intersection and that there is a little slight grade at the courthouse right there, and it just
surprised they didn't level it out.
Do we want to start taking bets as to when somebody's going to hit it?
You know what?
I mean, this is downtown Gettysburg,
right?
guys.
I know.
And it's very close to the road.
The wayside marker is put specifically there to try to block any kind of nefariousness, whether it's intentional or not.
No,
even if somebody
that's just kind of the way we do things here in Gettysburg now. Is
That's true.
We hit stationary objects.
As I was saying to Donnie before, we seem to have survived all winter, right, without one in town. And I realized, it's wet and slippery and icy in the winter, and no one has crashed into a building.
That's because everybody's too afraid to leave their house.
Oh, well, that's a good point. People are out less, but it's just once the weather gets nice, it's every week you got another car smashing into the building.
Yeah. We'll talk about this in the news. Unfortunately, there were 2 pretty bad accidents just this week. Not related to buildings, but one hit
one was
light
a tree
post.
or light. Yeah,
over on the first day's battlefield, basically the intersection.
I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, a guy had to be life flighted. So it was a single car accident. At the intersection right there, coming if you're leaving town.
Save it for the news.
Yeah.
No, yeah. Save it really.
And then there was a fatal accident later. Yeah, I know. No buildings though.
Yeah, right. No buildings. And then there was that fatal one up on
York.
Was it York Street?
York Road.
Okay, York Road.
What was that?
Last week, Tuesday.
No,
I think.
it was actually.
Really? I don't remember
hearing about that. Check her mail.
Yeah, they identified the guy yesterday. Actually, that was the victim, but that would have been Thursday, I believe. I'm sorry, Tuesday.
No,
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
It was Tuesday.
Yeah.
Didn't hear anything about that.
Eric.
Single car accident again.
I'm on camera right now. People can clearly see that I.
What are you talking about? You're cracking up, Eric.
I'm sitting here giggling like an idiot.
We've got a lot of people in the studio with us today. Tomorrow is the first Get Out of the Car tour of the 2022 season. Yay! And wow, it sounds like we have a lot of people in here.
We do.
Let's start introducing some people around the room here. Donnie Copper. Some people call him Donnie Cooper. But Donnie Copper is best known for being the genius behind the American Civil War _IG, actually American Civil War _IG Instagram account. And he is here for, you missed all of the tours last year, didn't you, Donnie? I did. You did. And do you feel bad? Do you have an apology that you would like to share on microphone with everybody?
I thought
he profusely apologizes.
I thought for sure he was at the Culp's Hill one.
I did too, but he said.
I was.
Oh, okay.
That wasn't part of the Get Out of the Car.
Yeah, it was. No. Oh, no.
The other one.
That was the winter Charlie Fennel
Right.
fiasco that was 2 degrees out.
When we were all freezing.
yeah.
It was, no, okay, but you didn't come to the April tour on Culp's Hill. Right, okay, so that's what we're saying. Sitting next to him, someone who has come to, I think, almost everyone, if not everyone. I think he missed maybe 1 or 2, but who's keeping track? Stephen Byers, ladies and gentlemen, who is the head of the Gettysburg, Addressing Gettysburg Book Club. How is the book club going, Steve? You have to speak up a little bit, please.
It's going well. We're taking the month off, and we'll come back in May.
Coming back in May. What's the book that you're going to do in May?
We're doing the Armistead and Hancock book.
Tom McMillan? Our buddy Tom McMillan. Very good. That's a good book. Tom's an interesting guy. Very interesting guy. So you're going to have him on too?
Yep.
Yeah. So if you are interested in, do you have room for new people?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So Addressing Gettysburg Book Club at gmail.com is who you got to email if you want to get on the list for the book club there. And then sitting next to him, ladies and gentlemen, you've seen his visuals, you've bought his t-shirts. He is the man who has taken one word from Tim Smith and turned it into a t-shirt that was our bestseller last year and is very iconic. Nobody can do it like him. Ty DeWitt, ladies and gentlemen, of 1863 Designs. Hello, Ty. And how are you today, Ty? Again, you'll have to speak up.
I'm tired.
You're tired. Why are you tired?
I've been up since 10 o'clock last night.
Oh, really?
That's a long time.
It is a long time.
You should probably take a nap.
Yeah. This would be a good time to take a nap if you want to.
Yeah, it might be.
Yeah.
It's nice and warm
Cool.
and dark over there in the corner.
Just join the boys and wait for the news segment. You'll be fine. You'll just fit right in.
And then our guest sitting in with us today is none other than the T-shirt man himself, Tim Smith. Welcome, Tim. How you doing today, Tim?
I'm good.
You good? You want to talk in that mic there? Yeah.
I'm good.
Okay, good.
I basically came just to observe.
Oh, you just want to observe?
You're not getting off the hook. No.
Oh, I'm more than happy to chime in.
Yeah, no, chime in.
You got to drop some of your expert knowledge on us. Any
Yeah.
chance you get.
Expert knowledge and your observations of things. Yeah.
Can't wait to see a bunch of people after the Get Out of the Car tomorrow.
I know, all muddy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
At the Farnsworth House. That's where we're going tomorrow. Yeah. Farnsworth, it's becoming a tradition. We go to the beer garden, we take it over, and everybody has fun and beer in the garden. And that's nice too. A couple of other people are here as well, but they're out in the hallway, and we'll get to them in the next segment. We don't have enough room to have everybody in here at once, ladies and gentlemen. So we have some chairs outside, and we tell them to sit out there and read the Bible, and then we'll call you when we're ready.
It's the green room.
It's the green room, right? The green hallway.
It's green in more ways than one.
No, that was good.
That's true. Well, the weed dispensary is here for those of you who didn't get that. The tour tomorrow is Kershaw's Brigade, and we're starting at the Long Street Tower at 10 a.m. is when the tour starts. Get there a little early. Park where legal. And folks, it has been raining all the last 2 weeks. So it is soggy out there. It is wet. We will be off-road, probably not the whole time, but a good chunk of the time. And you're going to get muddy, you're going to get wet. So for you flip-flop renegades out there who keep yelling at me for saying don't wear flip-flops, you might want to listen this time. But you know what? I don't care. It's your feet. What do I care?
Unless they're real Floridians, then Floridians can wear flip-flops in any of them.
Yeah, that's what one of the people in the renegades, she's like, I'm from North Carolina. I wear flip-flops all the time. It's like, all right.
Oh, I missed that. I was thinking Jeff.
Jeff Caravella?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Flip flop guy.
Well, he is a flip-flop guy, yeah. Yeah, he is. He always looks like he's on the beach when he's out in the middle of a cornfield. Yeah, it's a strange look. So I discovered, thanks to the help of 6 Questions Lens right before the show, that I have a big tear in my ass. And in my pants, in my pants, excuse me.
Everybody has that same. It's called a crack.
Welcome to Anatomy Class 101.
Clearly, biology was not very strong.
Mike Litz taught me that I have a crack in my ass. I had no idea. No, but I mean, I have a tear in my pants. And I went commando today. So
Of all the days.
I will be walking backwards away from everybody later on, and I will be wearing whatever I can find. I'll wear that American flag around my waist. There you go. So I'll make a skirt of that. So that's embarrassing. But whatever. You know, I gave Mike a thrill.
Just tie your sweater around your waist instead of your neck for once.
Well, I do both sometimes, Eric, you know. I do both. What else is going on here? All right, well, we're going to talk to Mike about his stuff there later. But,
Veronica's birthday.
Oh, yeah, that's right. It's Ronnie's birthday. And Eric's birthday. You guys have the same goddamn birthday. What are you talking about? You're just trying to play. Happy birthday. Oh, my God.
And for the record, I did not tell him. He remembered.
Well, I remembered. Yeah, I remembered from the last time we discussed it.
I swear I did not.
I was really no. I know you didn't.
No, we talked about it on the show last spring, and I was like, I will not forget that. Now, I don't remember obviously the date because you just told me. But as soon as he said that, I said, "Oh yeah, it's yours too."
Yeah.
There you go.
See, I told you would remember.
Well, I'm sorry. I said that we were going to do something for you, and I got nothing, and I'm sorry.
I'll just have to wait till 50. I mean, Jesus.
No.
Fun then, though, you know?
Yeah, you just turned 40.
You're proper old today.
I am proper old.
Lordy, look who's 40.
Get all those gray hairs.
Oh no,
you're not. You're proper. You're proper. Just no old. Just proper. You can cut the old right off.
Listen to him trying to kiss ass.
Yeah, really.
Yeah,
well, I have so many grays prematurely. I try to sow good seeds of like, nah, you're not old, so that when I get to that age and I look decrepit, people will be kind in return.
Get to that age, 40.
And look decrepit. I caught that.
The age that it would take me to look decrepit, which might be 3 years from now. You know, I mean,
you never
honestly,
know.
At the rate I'm going.
It's true.
I've looked decrepit since my mid-20s, so.
That was dark.
Yeah,
that was dark.
I don't know. I think
you didn't look decrepit. I saw pictures of you.
I got called
a baby
crusty
face?
man when I was 27. Swear to Christ.
But because why? Because all the guys were younger than you, right?
No, this dude was a year older than me.
Oh.
Which was like,
were you
like really pouring salt on the wound?
Were you curmudgeonly then?
I've always been curmudgeonly.
So that's what he's talking about.
I guess.
Yeah, it's not the way you look. It's the way you act. That's what he's talking about.
The soul of an old man.
Yeah. A very old, probably dead, but old man. Like 98.
Dead inside anyways.
Hey-o!
Is that an Aries trait? Is that something?
Aries?
Are we doing zodiacs now?
What are we doing?
Oh, Aries.
I don't know how that works. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what you guys are?
Have to be.
I don't know.
It's what I am. I'm assuming it's what he is.
Well, I mean, we have the same birthday, so
I think that's how that works.
Unless it works like the Chinese calendar, I think we're the same thing.
It depends. Yeah, if you were born under the Chinese calendar, is it the same?
I don't pay attention to any of that.
No, it's not.
What do you
I know.
do? What are you?
Was year the dog.
They've got
dog?
like rabbits and bees and shit like that.
And cocks. You're what? What are you? So what are you then? Dog?
I'm dog.
Your dog?
Yeah.
What do you? Yeah,
why would I know that?
Yeah, no.
I don't know.
I have no idea.
Well, you never read it on a Chinese menu.
I was just gonna say I know because our local Chinese restaurant had.
You're the horse. That's what I am.
I got a calendar from them this year because we ordered Chinese around New Year, but it wasn't the Chinese New Year. It's not a Chinese calendar.
Take him from the rear.
So the okay, so we've got a lot to talk about and get to today, and of course we want to hear from we want to hear from some of the people that are in the room, of course, a little bit more. We want to hear from our audience, so give us a call 717-420-1978. Talk about whatever. Wish Veronica and Eric a happy birthday if you want to, and if you don't want to, don't. I mean, that's up to you. It's your life. I can't make you do what you don't want to do. Although I try. So we'll be back. We'll talk to Tim a little bit, see what's been going on in his world, and we'll talk to you. We'll be right back.
Want to be on the the show? Send an email to info@addressinggettysburg.com. Be sure to include the reason why you think you'd make a good guest when you write us.
When Johnny comes marching home again, hurrah, hurrah. We'll give him a hearty welcome then, hurrah.
Very family friendly. We had a wonderful time with our son.
Me and my friends were able to rent these bikes and go at our own pace, so we were able to just do what we wanted to do when we wanted to do it, and I highly recommend it to anybody else.
Seemed like the right way to go to view the wonderful sights and also get an incredible amount of history from Bob.
Our tour guide Bruce was so knowledgeable about the facts and the history of these battlefields that I came away with an understanding that was unmatched by any other means.
The breeze on the battlefield made up for the hot day.
I had a wonderful time, great trip, lots of history, wonderful bike ride, perfect weather. Could have asked for a nicer day. Highly recommend it.
If you're gonna tour Gettysburg, I would recommend doing it on the bike. It's a lot of fun.
I loved it. It was awesome.
We really couldn't stump the professor with any of our questions, so we thought it was really well worth it.
It was an excellent day out and got you outside and experienced the weather. Beautiful weather out here today.
We had a lot of fun. If you're thinking about it, I'd just say give it a shot. It was awesome for us. I hope it's awesome for you guys too.
Go to gettysbike.com or call 717-752-7752 to book a battlefield experience you will never forget.
You've heard us promote various ways that you can help us keep the show going, but one way we haven't pushed too much is our sutlery at addressinggettysburg.com/shop. That's a shame because we have designs over there by talented artists like Ty DeWitt of 1863 Designs and Mike Stretch of the Heritage Depot. So now we're promoting it. Buying shirts, hoodies, mugs, and other items from our sutlery not only helps us keep the lights on, but it also helps guys like Ty and Mike, and it helps spread the word about the show every time you wear an item or you sip from your mug. So head over to addressinggettysburg.com/shop and grab some merch. It's the perfect Christmas gift for the Gettys nerd in your family. That's addressinggettysburg.com/shop.
Have you noticed our revamped website at addressinggettysburg.com? Well, that's the fine work of a man named Mike Stretch, and he also redid our logo for us. Both of them I originally designed, and both of them were originally horrible, but now they're nice, and that's all thanks to Mike. Mike has an awesome t-shirt company called Heritage Depot. There you'll find great designs based on Gettysburg and the Civil War with t-shirts and other types of merchandise. So go to heritage-depot.com and spruce up your Gettys Nerd wardrobe. That's heritage-depot.com. Our favorite bookstore in Gettysburg is For the Historian, located at 42 York Street. It's because they have the best selection of Civil War books in Gettysburg, both new and used, and online they have even more to choose from. And if the Civil War isn't your thing, that's not a problem. This is For the Historian, after all. They cover history from the ancient world to the 21st century with a strong selection of World War II and American Revolution books. It's astounding how many thousands of titles from Osprey, Savas Beatty, UNC Press, and more they have in their store. And that's because, well, they have a warehouse too. And that's where they keep all the books that are available online at forthehistorian.com. And folks, if you go to forthehistorian.com now and order books until you're blue in the face, be sure you mention that you heard about them on Addressing Gettysburg in the Note to Seller box, and they will refund your shipping costs. And if you prefer to stop by when you're in town, well, you could do that too. Just mention Addressing Gettysburg at checkout, and they'll take 20% off the retail price of your item. So go to forthehistorian.com, or stop by 42 York Street, or you can call them at 717-685-5207. That's forthehistorian.com or 717-685-5207.
You're listening to the man who is adored by his haters and just tolerated by his fans. Here's Matt on Addressing Gettysburg Today.
Thank you, Cuevos Grande. So we've got some other people in the studio with us now. Mike Lentz, 6 questions Lentz. Mike, if you can just hop over there to the table. I know we don't have it set up for you, but just
hop slowly.
Yeah, don't hop. Walk.
Watch the table.
Don't be trying
watch
to go
the
quick,
table.
man.
We need to put fluorescent paint on that table there in the dark. Okay, so
we're so close. We're so close to having you in the shot. We got an arm. If you can come a little further
squeeze
left.
a little into there. You know what? And then take that boom arm and just push it down, like flatten it down, like push it forward, and just get it away. Because that's not the mic you're using. That doesn't.
That's as far as
yeah.
I go.
Okay. All right, Mike. So give us a little bit of an update. How are you recuperating from your concussion?
Well, I still have a headache right now. Just kind of a minor one. Otherwise, it's going okay. It's coming along. No major symptoms have gotten worse. So.
Okay, good. That's good. Now, but you didn't get through this week unscathed.
Oh no.
Seriously, what is it? Okay, so what happened? This isn't really your fault.
Okay, I had an altercation with some food.
Oh,
I know.
With some bacteria.
Yes.
Yeah.
Specifically, at Red Robin, definitely not a yum time, especially when food poisoning happens and you're throwing up and you're going diarrhea almost at the same time.
I hate that expression.
You're really being descriptive with it.
Going diarrhea.
Yeah, just boom, just blow it out the back end, everybody. Here we go.
I believe the proper medical term is pissing out of your ass.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
Going diarrhea.
I think that's it.
Mike, what are you doing in there? I'm going diarrhea. Leave me alone. Okay, so you were going diarrhea and going vomit out of your mouth.
Yeah.
And
Presumably
then,
not the other way around.
are you doing these at the same?
Medically possible.
I know. Are you doing them at the same time?
Oh yeah.
So like literally, you're sitting on the toilet and throwing up in like a pot or a wastebasket or something.
I'm just throwing up on the floor and cleaning up afterwards.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds like a nightmare.
Or at least angled towards the bathtub and send it that direction.
So did it catch you by surprise?
A little bit, yeah. The vomit did.
Yeah.
The diarrhea I felt coming. I was in bed and I'm like, oh, so I ran. And so then I get there. and
you felt the drop down into the colon.
Blown out the back end. The whole waterworks going.
And did you say, oh, I got to go diarrhea?
And then all of a sudden, and then all that.
Oh my God!
Into the bathtub.
Both ends. Did you get a fever too? I've never had food poisoning, so I don't.
No, not food poisoning. That does not give you a fever. That's a stomach ailment there.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it was good. It was a fun 12 hours. A fun 12 hours. Yeah.
Well, listen, thank God you decided to throw up the way you did too, because the last thing we need is you trying to run to the toilet or a trash can and then hurting yourself further.
I figured at that point the better survival strategy was to clean it up afterwards than to worry about any niceties. I'm like, okay, at this point I really don't care. I'm miserable. I'll just clean it up afterwards.
Yeah.
Wise man.
Oh,
Wise
yes.
man.
Very. Oh, boy. Well, okay. Well, that's great. Good for you. Well, at least it wasn't any kind of physical injury. And that's really not, due to clumsiness or anything. That's just, oh, boy, look who walked in.
He just walked in.
Look at him just walking in.
He just
The
walked
star
in.
of the show.
Cam, do you happen to notice?
This is my door.
Do you happen to notice that there are people sitting in the hallway? Do you think maybe they're there for a reason? Cameron, sit down on the couch.
Yeah, but they're not.
Cameron said lines do not apply to him.
Yeah. Jesus.
Hey, are we gonna quiz him on Gettysburg movie quotes today?
Yes.
We should.
Yeah. Cam. What? Mike, switch with Cam. Switch with Cam. Yeah, let him get up there. Get up there, Cameron. Now that you're here. Happy birthday, Veronica. This is your birthday present.
Thank you.
All right, Cam Mallow is a big superstar now in the history world. By the way, that's Tim Smith right there. Have you met Tim before? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay, get up to the microphone. Why do we have to go through this every time you're on the show?
At the movie quote game in front of Tim.
That's
remember?
right. course.
Hey,
Tim was very disappointed.
Cam, move to your left a little bit. People want to see you on the screen, man. You gotta go. You gotta go to
He
your
can't.
left.
To your left.
Your
Your left. Your left.
Your other left.
This is your left. This is your right.
Virginia left.
There you go. There you go. Perfect.
Now you're learning, Boyle. Jeez. Okay. So to your left. Oh, there we are. Okay, great. All right. So now, Cameron, you are a rising star in the history world. You just spoke. You gave a talk down where in West Virginia was that?
Beverly, West Virginia.
Beverly, West Virginia, and you were the star of the show. Everybody came to see you.
The headliner.
The headliner, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you can say so.
I did. I just did say so.
Technically, I said so, but that's okay.
Well, I concurred. And you tell me about it. Was it exciting for you? Was this the first time you've ever given a lecture?
This long of a lecture, yeah. Normally, it's only ever been like 15-minute talks, but this was my first long one, and it was a great full house.
Mm-hmm.
There was a news station came in, covered a little bit of it.
Oh, you were on the news.
There was even some people from Pennsylvania drove down just for the talk. Seems like as soon as I start speaking, everybody was pulling the recorders or video cameras out.
Don't I know it?
I bet they were.
How do you think we got that video we opened with? You know?
What video?
Oh, you weren't watching it?
No, I was driving. I was booking to get up here.
Oh, I thought you would be listening to the show on the way up, like you normally do.
No, I tried to stop find a wheelbarrow.
What? For you and your wife, Eric.
Jesus Christ.
He's gonna beat this horse to death.
I'm gonna go home and weep.
Hey, he gave me the address to find the place.
I just want to know why why did he need a wheelbarrow? What is this?
Apparently, there is some like weird tradition in West Virginia, which is not a real place, by the way.
Right.
It's like New Zealand. It doesn't actually exist.
It's not a real anything.
Where you put your new bride into a wheelbarrow.
Right.
Wait a minute.
Just let him finish.
Just let him finish.
Put
Let
her
it
in there.
happen.
Let it happen.
You place her in a wheelbarrow, and then you push her to various places.
Yeah.
Wait, so do you push her down the aisle in the wheelbarrow?
No, it's only after. Yeah, it's only afterwards.
I so wish that you did go down the aisle with her, though, because that would make it so much cooler. I might have tried to convince my wife to let me do that.
My wife would have murdered me in my sleep.
Well, it just seems insulting to me that to put your wife in a wheelbarrow.
Yeah, I mean, everywhere else, you pick them up and you carry them over the threshold.
Right.
Apparently, you can't do that in West Virginia.
Because they're too heavy in West Virginia, that's why.
Oh,
no. It's all right, Cameron.
Oh, now
Again, West Virginia is not a real place.
Right. It's not a real place. They're not real people. No,
I
that's not
defy
true.
you to find West Virginia on a map.
Yeah, can you locate it to the left? It's to the left of Virginia.
Your left.
Your other left. Your other left.
Well, if we go by Cam's left, it's the ocean.
Fantastic.
Oh boy, Cameron. So how did it go? Did you feel good about yourself? You talked about the swamp dragons.
Yes, it was.
And what happens to them in the end?
They most of them ended up having to stay in some active for a while because of there was still some uprising going on by Confederates afterwards, and then the unit they mainly just went back to farming. But now, since I've given the talk, I've got actually two more. I got a couple round tables want me now come speak at their talk.
Really?
Because they've read the book by Steve French, Phantoms of the South Fork, and in it he talks about. So everybody's now hearing the work I'm doing, so they're wanting to bring out more on the.
Well, that's really good. And you mentioned in that video a book that you've been working on.
Yes.
What is the name of this book?
It's going to be The Loyal West Virginians, The Swamp Dragon.
That was the name of your talk, too, wasn't it?
Yes.
And what is the... you said that you were going to... In the video, you said something about getting it to the publisher. You have a publisher already?
Yeah, I actually what happened was I told them about the idea of the book I'm working on, and they said, well, as soon as you get it done, we want it.
Really?
Yeah, so
and they take crayon manuscripts.
Oh, real funny. Ouch.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I had to. Okay,
This
so
is what happens when you stay away so long. He has all these goofy comments to
saving them for months at this point.
Thank you for saying that because you just reminded me of something I've been holding on to for months.
Oh,
What was your nickname in high school?
I don't really remember having a nickname.
Oh, I remember you having it. You told me what your nickname was.
What was it?
Hutch.
Like Starsky and Hutch?
Like a small cupboard in the corner?
Like a small cupboard in the corner. That's what they, because he was always in the corner
only name
with the dunce
I
cap
remember
on.
getting called growing up was Motor Mouth.
No, you
Why
told
was
me
that a nickname there?
Sense, actually, yeah.
I gotta know.
You told me it was
Because I
Hutch.
couldn't stop talking. And I knew how to
Would've
crash
never guessed.
parties.
That's an incredible surprise.
Now, why did you have that nickname Hutch, though? You told me this in the shed, in the old studio. You were telling, you just came in one day when I was trying to work, and you didn't notice that I was trying to work, and you just started rambling on about whatever was on your mind, and then you chased a bird around the parking lot, and then you came back in and taught me more.
I didn't chase no bird around the parking lot.
Yes, you did. You don't remember that. You black out when that happens. Anyway, my point is, you said, "Oh, my nickname in high school was Hutch." And so I wrote it down on a Post-it note, and I had it stuck to the speaker that was in front of me.
I don't remember how I got that name. Actually, I don't even remember being called that.
Do you just make
Are you
things
sure
up?
You heard Hutch?
Are you
Maybe
just firing from the
Maybe
hip
he was
one day?
playing
It
as
was
a
Hutch.
matchmaker back in high school or something?
Oh,
Maybe it
did
was
you
Hitch.
hitch people up? Did you?
No.
Because you know all the wedding traditions. Maybe you were the matchmaker. You're like, hey, Janelle, I think you and Robert should go together. And then here, hitch.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you would go down the hallway in high school and say, Janelle, you and Robert should get hitched.
And
And then they called you Hitch.
I hate
The
to
traditional
tell ya.
Mountain Dew toast.
I can only, if this is how Matt is now, I can only imagine what's going to happen in 5 months when I finally come back from my park job if I take that one.
Now, you're talking about
So
Hawaii?
we have 5 months.
We have 5. You're talking about Hawaii? Are you
All right.
taking Hawaii?
Nope. I might be going to North Dakota.
Whoa.
I never heard.
Where in North Dakota?
Wildly different than Hawaii.
Right on the border of Montana. I work interpretive position at a place called Fort Union Trading Post.
Now, hold on. Ronnie, you back me up here. When you started down on the mall as a seasonal, you said it was interpretive.
Yep.
And when Ronnie and Kathy went down to see you, you were just telling people where the bathroom was. No. Is this truly... No?
No.
I got
the
that
sound
wrong.
of the bus going over Veronica right there.
Oh, no.
Did I get that wrong?
We went at closing time, so the interpretation was already done for the day.
Oh, okay.
We moved straight past dropping dimes to dropping manhole covers.
Hey, it's been a while. I got a lot of stuff I got to get out. I came here. All right. So you're going to do interpretive at
It's either that or I stay here in Gettysburg and do labor all summer.
labor all summer in Gettysburg.
Build those muscles, man.
Yeah, build the muscles. You're
You mean
young.
like on the maintenance crew again?
Yes.
Here. Oh,
yeah.
nice. Okay.
No, he's going to have a child.
I didn't know if there was like
Yeah.
another business or
Oh,
something.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
what I
yeah.
meant. You mean for the Park Service?
Yes.
I think if you want to get to Gettysburg eventually as an interpretive ranger, you should be in Gettysburg every opportunity they offer you, even though that's probably not going to matter in the long run, whether you do or don't. But I think it's just good to... No, I'm not saying that as a slam. It did sound
Here's
like a
some
slam.
advice that's probably not going to work.
No, I'm saying I don't know if that makes a difference to them. But what I'm saying is at least with the people there, they'll get to know you, and maybe that might help them, a little cronyism, you know what I'm saying? I
Let
don't
me
know.
play devil's advocate.
Do
Wouldn't
it.
it be better for his resume if he had an interpretive position somewhere within the Park Service? rather than...
I agree. If this is truly an interpretive position, because I recall that your last position was supposed to be interpretive, and it wasn't interpretive.
It was to a point. I got when I got to work with the veterans and greet them and talk to them when they came to the memorials.
But did you give tours?
No, it wasn't that much of giving tours.
So then what was the interpretation that you had to do?
Answering questions around the different war memorials.
So then, if I'm hanging out at the angle and somebody comes over and asks me a question, am I interpreting if I go, that's Cushing's battery?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
I
it's
mean,
just
I think
that's
on
not
the mall,
interpreting.
It's not fair to compare the mall with Gettysburg.
I don't know if they
though.
have
In
many
fairness,
tours
it's
going
not.
on
Yeah,
in the mall, like outside of the museums.
I don't recall
No, there were park rangers just stationed around the different places. Like we
Right.
ran into someone at the Korean War vet, and they told us about the restoration project.
is that
and
what you
it
did?
Was the meaning behind
Okay.
it and stuff like
Okay.
that. So yeah.
So that's what you did then. So you would answer questions at a certain spot.
Yeah.
Okay. How much training do you have to do for
Like,
that?
where's the bathroom? I'm just kidding.
Go to the other side of the Jefferson Memorial, make a left. You'll see it. It's a brick building.
It's hiding in the bushes behind the Lincoln Memorial.
Cam, did you have fun? I'm busting your cojones here, but did you have fun with doing your interpretation or your lecture the other day?
Oh man, it was a blast.
Yeah, and I'm really sorry that I didn't come. I had a lot of personal stuff to do, and I ended up staying around here doing
I was
that.
looking for you all because if y'all
Aw.
showed up, we all went up on the battlefield at Rich Mountain right afterwards.
Yeah, and that's what I was hoping for the most. And you know, I genuinely am sorry though. I do want to say
It's
I am
fine.
sorry because I've been saying that I was going to go, and I wanted to go, and I wanted to support you, but at the last minute I couldn't pull it out.
They had food there. They served, and after the actual symposium started, they had cookies, free cookies, drinks.
So you did it really for the cookies?
No.
No?
I just done it because of my love of history.
He did it all for the cookies.
He did it all for the cookies.
Can we get a rendition? Can we get a rendition
Did it all for
of
the
that?
nookie.
What band was that?
Limp Bizkit.
Limp Bizkit all day. I remember the
And
late
then if you
90s.
recall, right before
Showing our
that,
age.
I was in Morgantown giving a talk on a West Virginia regiment that fought here at Gettysburg.
The 7th?
Yep.
I don't recall that. Did I don't think I knew that.
Yeah,
So that you've done two.
I've done two since I've been home.
Okay, very good. How'd that one go?
Went good.
Which one did you have the better audience reaction from?
I think the more of the one at Beverly because there was more people there interested in.
How many?
We had a full house, about 30 to 40 some people.
That's pretty good.
Good for you, man.
Yeah,
That's
that is
awesome.
good.
It is.
Were you nervous?
No. It was
No?
a walk in the park.
Really?
Yeah.
Good for you. So you're a natural performer.
Yeah, and the Appalachian one, there's a crazy story of it. I got sick the night before I was supposed to speak.
Oh no.
And
Like
get-
Mike Lentz, did you get food poisoning?
I thought it was actually that at first, but it was actually the stomach bug got me. And get this.
Did you go diarrhea?
I'm not going. I'm just saying I got sick.
Okay. Oh.
But
He did.
I pulled out of it.
Cameron is a
quick
mature
enough.
young man.
Right, Mike, you know you've
no,
done
this
wrong
is-
when Cameron's telling it more adultly than you did, buddy. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh boy. Okay, so go ahead. You
But the best part is I pulled out of it so quickly that
Carry on, Cameron.
no. You see, I was actually supposed to speak Friday morning at 9 a.m.
Yeah.
but I couldn't
Uh-huh. Why?
because I was still sick.
Oh my God, this is fantastic. Please don't go away for 5 months. You should just stay here and do this full time.
We'll help you weed whack if it keeps you.
We'll help you pull out.
No, But you
stay-
see, a lot of people normally, I guess, when they get sick, they're out for about a week, especially from when you get hit by the stomach bug.
I'm not.
For a
I'm not
week?
baby.
Well, I'm not a baby neither.
I'm just saying.
I've just heard of it.
I gotta pull that
Yeah,
one.
that
I'm
one-
not a baby. I'm not a baby neither.
Well,
I ain't no baby.
I actually got better within 2 days and went on Sunday morning and gave the speech. Still under the weather. Actually, still went and gave the speech.
I did a week's worth of patrols with dengue fever once. That was awful.
Exactly.
But the
Can you give a speech with dengue fever?
I don't even know.
Can you
what that
spell
is.
dengue fever? I should have let you answer that. I'm sorry. I just
But the
stepped on
best
you.
part was I gave the speech, and
Yeah.
the reason it was so important to me, I was within 50 feet of where the regiment formed up at in 1861 there on High Street in Morgantown. So where the regiment
First person to be that close since the battle.
Oh no, there's been a lot more stuff happen on High Street since then.
Okay.
But I was able to give a speech right there
In that place. I get that.
WVU on the 7th, within 50 feet from where they formed up at.
Yeah.
So that had to feel special. That had to feel good.
No, and what really became a shocker was when I talked about how there was 1,010 men that fought, that joined this regiment there, and when they came back on a 30-day furlough in '63, early '64, I want to say more towards '64, they was only 250 men that returned.
Wow.
That stinks.
Yep. So,
Were any of them relatives of yours?
Yep.
15, the ones that returned? Or both? Did you have both ones that didn't return? Yeah. How many relatives did you have in that unit?
15.
15 Mallows. All Mallows? No, both sides?
Both sides of my family.
Wow.
And then the reason the Swamp Dragon book is so important to me is I'm related. I've wrote down paper about 25 people I'm related to that were Swamp Dragons.
Did you now when you say that there are 25 people that you're related to, are you talking like 5th cousins, 6th cousins, or like closer relations?
Distant grandfathers, cousins, and all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
So
that's good, Cameron. I have to take a break. I'm very happy for you that you did that. I have my first speaking engagement in October. Isn't that exciting?
Where at?
Out in Pittsburgh.
Do you need me to coach you?
No, I don't need your help. Thank you. Okay. You know what? There's some things I saw in that video that I think you can coach you on.
Cameron just offered his services as a speech coach. Is that what just happened?
Well, yeah, I heard Beyonce was trying to get him hired to just help her with her performances a little better since he doesn't get nervous and stuff. She needed a little bit of that.
She's like, Cameron Mallow, how do you stay not nervous?
I'll be damned.
I go, well, I just think about, nothing. I don't think about nothing. And then I just go out and I just talk about the Swamp Dragons. She goes, Swamp Dragons. Yes, Swamp Dragons.
Watch, that'll be your next hit, dude.
Well, the thing is, hey, I'm gonna let you know on this though.
Okay, let me stop
when I
the
was
music
at
again.
Fall 2016 at Shepherd, I met Charles Frazier. Got to listen to him talk about his book.
Right.
Cold Mountain.
Yes.
Which was made into a movie.
And wait, is that the guy that
Didn't he fight Sugar Ray Leonard?
Yes.
Yeah.
He gave me some advice also for my book. I took some of the stuff he talked about, and I'm like advice on how to make the book even better.
Yeah.
A friend of mine even has started to work on a movie script for it.
Very nice. Very
I'm
nice.
helping a little bit with. So.
Oh, good. Very good. Well, now I think it's safe. Okay, I'll play the music there. Cam, thank you very much. We will of course talk to you a little bit later. But anyway, we're going to take a break. We'll be right back with such fun and frivolity in Veronica's news.
Have something to add to the conversation? Give us a call at 717-420-1978 and get in the queue.
Very family friendly. We had a wonderful time with our son.
Me and my friends were able to rent these bikes and go at our own pace, so we were able to just do what we wanted to do when we wanted to do it, and I highly recommend it to anybody else.
It seemed like the right way to go to view the wonderful sights and also get an incredible amount of history from Bob.
Our tour guide Bruce was so knowledgeable about the facts and the history of these battlefields that I came away with an understanding that was unmatched by any other means.
The breeze on the battlefield made up for the hot day.
We had a wonderful time, great trip, lots of history, wonderful bike ride, perfect weather. Could have asked for a nicer day. Highly recommend it.
If you're going to tour Gettysburg, I would recommend doing it on the bike. It's a lot of fun.
I loved it. It was awesome.
We really couldn't stump it.
It was an excellent day out and got you outside and experienced the weather. Beautiful weather out here today.
We had a lot of fun. If you're thinking about it, I'd just say give it a shot. It was awesome for us. I hope it's awesome for you guys too.
Go to gettysbike.com or call 717-752-7752 to book a battlefield experience you will never forget.
You've heard us promote various ways that you can help us keep the show going, but one way we haven't pushed too much is our sutlery at addressinggettysburg.com/shop. That's a shame because we have designs over there by talented artists like Ty DeWitt of 1863 Designs and Mike Stretch of the Heritage Depot. So now we're promoting it. Buying shirts, hoodies, mugs, and other items from our sutlery not only helps us keep the lights on, but it also helps guys like Ty and Mike, and it helps spread the word about the show every time you wear an item or you sip from your mug. So head over to addressinggettysburg.com/shop and grab some merch. It's the perfect Christmas gift for the Gettys nerd in your family. That's addressinggettysburg.com/shop.
Have you noticed our revamped website at addressinggettysburg.com? Well, that's the fine work of a man named Mike Stretch, and he also redid our logo for us. Both of them I originally designed, and both of them were originally horrible, but now they're nice, and that's all thanks to Mike. Mike has an awesome t-shirt company called Heritage Depot. There you'll find great designs based on Gettysburg and the Civil War with t-shirts and other types of merchandise. So go to heritage-depot.com and spruce up your Gettys Nerd wardrobe. That's heritage-depot.com. Our favorite bookstore in Gettysburg is For the Historian, located at 42 York Street. It's because they have the best selection of Civil War books in Gettysburg, both new and used. And online, they have even more to choose from. And if the Civil War isn't your thing, that's not a problem. This is For the Historian, after all. They cover history from the ancient world to the 21st century with a strong selection of World War II and American Revolution books. It's astounding how many thousands of titles from Osprey, Savas Beatty, UNC Press, and more they have in their store. And that's because, well, they have a warehouse too. And that's where they keep all the books that are available online at forthehistorian.com. And folks, if you go to forthehistorian.com now and order books until you're blue in the face, be sure you mention that you heard about them on Addressing Gettysburg in the Note to Seller box, and they will refund your shipping costs. And if you prefer to stop by when you're in town, well, you could do that too. Just mention Addressing Gettysburg at checkout, and they'll take 20% off the retail price of your item. So go to forthehistorian.com or stop by 42 York Street, or you can call them at 717-685-5207. That's forthehistorian.com or 717-685-5207. Nah, mean. All right, so we're back. I think, oh yeah, I didn't have that on anyway. Okay, so we're back, and Tim, you got to witness a live cam interview. What was that? What was going through your head? I mean, this is like the meeting of like two titans in this town here, Cam and Tim Smith.
No. He's better than I am.
I know that. I'm just saying, you're still both titans in your own way. He knows a lot. You talk a lot. You know, Titanic type stuff here.
A lot.
But it's gold though, Cam. Don't ever let him bully you on that. You keep on talking, man.
Absolutely. We love to hear you talk, Cameron, and the audience does too. Here's some of the comments people are saying about it. My God, Cam is gold. I love that boy. This one here. Why can't Cam say that he go diarrhea?
Because he's got manners.
Yeah, I guess not. That's all right. It's all right, Cam. Everybody poops. So I guess let's see. Well, Steve Byers, you're standing right here. Why don't you sit over there? Let's talk to you real quick about the bookstore, not the bookstore, the book club. Okay, so how's it been going? You've done 2 books now in the book club,
right?
And everybody seems to really enjoy it. How many people do we have that are active?
So from any given week, we have somewhere between 25 and 30, 31 who log on.
That's really good.
I mean, I'd say consistently we have like 20 who are there every week. And then we have, there's like 5 who are, they're in and out as work or life and all that stuff.
Right,
allows.
sure. Yeah. But, and it's mostly due to your charisma, but also the subject matters, I'm sure, right?
I doubt it has anything to do with me. I think it's all about the subject matter.
That's not true. You do a very good job. I get reports from Veronica. She gives me a weekly progress report. And,
well, I also slip her $50 every week.
No, but you really do. You are doing a fantastic job with it, and I'm glad you took it over. And thank you for doing that because people enjoy it. And is my aunt in it yet? Because she.
Who's your aunt?
Susan Wiss. Because she said that she tried to get in like back in the fall, but it was too late. And I said, well, just keep trying. And
I think I've added her to the email.
No, she's definitely in the email chain.
Yeah. Then she's
So hopefully she'll do it next.
I know
week,
we have
next month.
I think we're approaching 70 people on the email. Like I just send out the mass emails, so I think there's about 70.
Very good.
About 70 people.
Very good. Well, anybody else? Addressing Gettysburg Book Club at gmail.com is the web address, and you'll the email address, and you'll deal with Steve. Steve is a gentleman and a charmer.
Yeah, okay.
I meant to say scholar, but okay, a charmer as well. But thank you very much, Steve. Thank you very much,
problem.
Steve Byers, ladies and gentlemen. Well, you know what time it is. Everybody's what?
Well, Tim's here.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Oh, okay. He just said he wanted to observe.
He's
Tim,
being modest.
what is the latest with you? How about this one here? We talked about this a little bit last night. Can I ask you a favor publicly? You and Gary, both a favor. Next year, when you're going to do one of your tours, please consult with us, or just don't do it on the 3rd Saturday of the month. Can we ask? Can we ask that favor? Because I had to change May, and now poor Steve can't go because he didn't see it in time. He made his plans before I had to change it. Yeah, but.
Yeah, I think deciding when we're going to do a tour is, more up to Gary's schedule since he is very busy. He has
bullshit.
A lot of, worldwide engagements as opposed to.
Yeah. Well, all right then.
He
next
has
time,
an actual job.
Yeah.
He's pretty busy.
Next time Gary's on, then I will corner him and ask him.
So yeah, we were talking about last night. Maybe here in the summer, Gary and I can do some kind of. Program for the
yes
addressing Gettysburg. Maybe again we were thinking about doing some kind of live show.
Another live show outdoors, and I went and looked at that space.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, and it's perfect. It's huge.
Mm-hmm.
Which space?
Did you know that there was a, what do you call it?
We call it the camp.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know this.
You didn't know that?
I mean,
Camp Tiger, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was called Camp Tiger for after the Louisiana Tigers, not like the mascots of the kindergarten, nearby.
Okay.
It just seems tigers. I don't know. It doesn't sound tough to me.
No.
I guess the Louisiana Tigers would be upset with me for saying that.
Yeah, probably.
No, they've been dead for a while.
Well, the ghosts that haunt the area.
Oh, yeah, the ghosts. Yeah.
Naturally, the ghosts.
But yeah, we could do some kind of outdoor activity and a program up there and have the radio show there live.
Yeah,
nice.
It's a really cool spot, and you could do it like going to a concert out on a lawn or something. Bring some blankets and chairs, and we could fit a lot of people in there.
So we're going to work on that and see when we can do that.
Yeah.
And if I can get Gary to attend, and Gary will attend, but
right.
Again, he's pretty busy.
Well, we could work around his schedule. I mean, the thing is, if we would do it on a Saturday, probably.
Yes.
And Saturdays in the summer are busy for everybody anyway, so we'll figure something out. Maybe we'd have to put it off till October. If we need more time. I don't know. We'll see. We will find out. But yeah, that'll be fun. And what else? Anything else?
Well, this spring, and we for the last 2 years, because of COVID, we've had a lack of visitors to Gettysburg.
Yeah.
And when people are coming to Gettysburg, even during COVID, families and small groups, but it really prohibited bus groups coming to Gettysburg, and school groups had stopped. And I hadn't thought about it, but it was 2 years ago in March where my bus season just started to get going, and I had a bus group scheduled, and I went into the park, and that bus it didn't show up, and then the next day a bus canceled, and then a couple days later, boom, they just canceled all the bus tours. And I just did a tour a couple weeks ago with kids, and it was the first time in 2 years I did a tour with 8th graders. And it was interesting because I hadn't,
right.
I had done 100 8th grade tours a year.
Yeah.
So it was great to do that.
The buses are coming back for sure.
Just last Sunday, I did a group of kids, and so we do have
Tours.
buses coming back. And,
Yeah.
And on pre-COVID, in a busy April and May, we would have upwards of 100 buses a day coming to the park.
Wow.
And I don't think people realize just how many groups and what percentage of the visitation that adds up to in their statistics did they throw out there.
Yeah.
They say we have this amount of visitors, but, granted, most of these buses drive from Washington, D.C., maybe they're from California. They come up, they're here for 3 hours, and 2 hours of that is on a battlefield tour, and then they leave.
Right.
Maybe they go to General Pickett's all-you-can-eat battlefield buffet.
Yes.
Which
yes.
I should remind you, is open to the public again. We could all,
is it open
we could all
again?
go there,
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Speaking of going, no.
But now I think I asked the other day when I was there, and we're having bus days of 30 and 35 and 40. So I don't know what it'll be at the end of May. I don't know if we'll ever get back to like 100 or, and occasionally we'd have a record of like 130 buses in a single day.
Mm-hmm.
But and then also there's a lot less guides doing buses. Although
I thought they all like to do buses.
Well, I mean, I think what happened was because of COVID and just the enormity of losing 100 buses from your schedule,
Right,
and you losing
right.
that income, a lot of guides decided to do other things. And so we don't have as many full-time bus guides right now as we used to.
Mm-hmm.
So in me, for instance, I went full-time at the Adams County Historical Society, I'm sure everybody knows, and I don't do tours on a regular basis like I used to. I only give tours on Sundays and occasionally on Saturdays, but I only guide really on Sundays now, 1 day a week. So I'm a guide emeritus. I've been guiding so long, it doesn't matter.
You don't have to
I
make your quota? Is that what
make
that
a
means?
quota or anything like that.
How long before you're emeritus?
25 years.
25, okay.
But I've been guiding for, let me look at my calendar. Oh, it's the 8th.
Yeah.
Tomorrow will be my 30th anniversary. Of
Wow. Pretty good. Very nice.
So tomorrow.
Dan,
So,
Butterfield.
I've been guiding for a long time and doing a lot of tours, but I didn't realize I was going to, cut back to such a certain extent. But I've been very busy working on the Adams County Historical Society's museum. So that's what I'm doing full time.
How's that coming along? Because I noticed it's
the building is under construction, and the building is pretty far along. And I think anybody comes to Gettysburg is a little startled by how big it is. I know you guys talked about that with Andrew on the show a couple months ago, but the museum component of it is going to be a pretty sizable historical society museum, which will discuss, local history like any other county historical society, but also it'll have a third of the museum is going to be a component that deals with the civilians that lived here during the battle and what it was like for them before and during and after the battle.
Okay. I have somebody on the phone with a question for you. Matt McClanahan, are you on the air?
I am. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Rue McClanahan's grandson, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, 2 people clapped.
Thank
All
you,
right.
thank you.
All right, Matt, what's your question for Tim Smith? What's your question for Tim Smith?
Well, I originally had a question for Cam.
But
I will be glad to pose my query to Tim Smith. Basically, I was curious if Cam considered West Virginia part of the South, or if he considered West Virginia another member of another geographic
He's
region.
here. If you want to, do you want to ask Tim the question first, since he's got the microphone, and then we can go to Cam's question?
Well, I can answer it, but
Sure,
what he thinks. Now, I got two things. I have like 5 thoughts on this. So maybe if I throw my 5 thoughts out there, then maybe Cam can react to my 5 thoughts.
Okay, so wait,
But I'll try to hone it down.
Real quick, though, because Cam didn't hear the question. The question is, do you consider West Virginia part of the South?
Don't answer yet.
Don't answer. Don't answer. Don't answer, I said. Go ahead, Tim.
Well, first of all, West Virginia is not part of the South. First of all, let me point out that, West Virginia did not want to be part of the South and did not want to be part of the Confederacy. And West Virginia seceded from Virginia during the war and formed its own state, which officially became a state, I believe, Cam, is it June 11th?
1863.
June 20th, 1863.
Right before this
June
battle.
20th, right before the battle. And, there's a great story that men from West Virginia steal a flag from...
a star.
A star off of the flag of the Indiana... what's it? The 7th? I forget which.
I don't remember. Who? 14th
Indiana, and they put it on their flag. So West Virginia says they're the only ones that had the correct number of flags.
Do you believe that?
Stars on their flag. Sounds good.
It sounds good, but do you believe it?
Yeah.
Cool.
So anyway, yeah, it's a good story. So I would maintain that there are no other or no more patriotic individuals in our country than West Virginians.
Okay.
Because they refused to be part of the South.
I like that answer. That's a good answer. I like. But
today, per capita, West Virginia flies more Confederate flags than any other state in the Union. How do you explain this? These people don't understand their heritage.
Well, that is a good point. A lot of Pennsylvanians fly the Confederate flag.
That always surprised me. I am from the South, and you don't see them nearly as much down there as you do up here. It's kind of crazy.
Wild.
Yeah, it is
be
weird.
Careful, it is
Especially
Confederate
when it's,
Heritage
yeah,
Month.
Heritage Month. Yeah.
Oh my God! What do you think about that? Did you see that?
I did see that.
I haven't heard about
Heritage
this. What is
Month.
this?
Well, wait.
Right.
So real quick, Cam, do you agree with Tim's answer to that question?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And speaking of this, I don't know if you can get on the camera.
Well, put it up to
But
look. It's a
my
flag.
nephew just acquired a new
Wait,
flag.
keep it there. Keep it there. There you go.
See, that's why we have the monitor, Eric. Look at that.
Yellow star with one white star.
Am I on the right side?
There you go.
Yeah. Right there.
But do you know for sure that really happens?
I've heard the story since I've been researching the regiment.
A lot of people have heard that story, but I've heard, I forgot who was saying this, but it's
Andy
mostly...
Dreas actually did some research because there was a licensed battlefield guide last summer that gave a tour on the Indiana. Bill, I forget Bill's last name, but he said that it was specific. Yeah, that it was that story. And I know Randy reached out to the West Virginia State Archives, the Indiana State Archives, just to see if there was any kind of where that story came from, and neither of them were able to come through with any kind of
concrete
proof
evidence
of that.
Yeah.
And they were trying to find the Indiana state flag because that would pretty much solve the, is there a star missing? Is there not a star missing? And that was kind of up in the air.
They couldn't find it.
I think that the discrepancy was the star. There is on the Indiana flag, there is a portion of one of the stars missing. You can still see the 5 points, but there's a hole. And they were saying that the discrepancy is not necessarily that it was removed, but was it stolen?
Or
did
shot?
They give them? Or did they say, "Hey, this is pretty darn cool. You're right next to us. This would be an honor to give you guys." It seemed a little hard to believe that someone could steal a singular star.
Yeah.
I mean, those flags were so meaningful to those guys, right? Like, it wasn't like they were just laying on the ground unattended for a while.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Just, where I heard the story from, I can probably tell you, I got a pretty good recollection of hearing the story the first time, and it might interest you that it was Charlie Fennell's story.
Oh,
he says it was in a high school book or something.
Yeah.
He said there was something.
What's
Charlie
that book?
Fennell is, he got his doctorate at the University of West Virginia.
Okay.
So...
Well, he would know.
Yeah.
Dr. Fennell.
We'll have to ask Dr. Fennell next time we see him.
We will.
But isn't it fascinating about West Virginia? Now, here's another question I have, and I'm curious to what everybody thinks about this. Okay. So, the southern states are not allowed to secede from the Union, and we go to war and we bring them back into the Union. How come at the end of the war, West Virginia wasn't put back into Virginia?
Because they didn't want to be with those dirty rebs. That's why.
Maybe their state constitution wasn't as ironclad as the federal constitution. We'll just take it.
Is that a constitutional matter?
I don't know. Maybe.
But
Well,
if we're so...
But why would they want to be? Why would Virginia want them back?
Yeah.
Oh, Cam's got to get in on this one here.
Well, here
we go.
To get over there fast.
Here we go. Yeah, I know.
Well,
Let me rearrange the
that's
furniture.
That has been a topic. Why didn't West Virginia go back to Virginia? Well, you see, prior to my history's a little rusty on it, but
Okay.
I'll get it the best I know. Give you the best answer.
The bass ass anchor.
The best answer.
I'll give you the bass ass anchor. Okay, go ahead.
West Virginia they did try to get West Virginia to join back
Yeah.
with Virginia.
Oh, they did. Who? Virginia did?
Yes,
Uh-huh.
but West Virginia said no. So an agreement came out. The way I understand the agreement was, then you had to pay us all of the taxes that you owe us for building of all the turnpikes prior to the war. And so that was confirmation to stay West Virginia. Now that was something that I was told in a West Virginia history class, and something that and some other people we've talked about.
No, it was Virginia said you owe us tax money, or
Yeah.
yeah, I wouldn't go back either.
So West Virginia.
No, wait, they were saying instead of coming back, now you owe us the money. Is that what
Yes.
you're saying? Okay, gotcha. That's stupid. You tried to leave the country, you idiots. I mean, they got some balls.
Now I will tell you something.
You try to break up the country, and then when you just had your ass handed to you, you say to the counties that left you, well, you can come back, and we don't want to come back. Well, then you owe me money. F you. F you. How many people died by your bullets because you couldn't agree to disagree on something and you had to leave the goddamn
Well, I'll
country?
tell you this.
Now it's Confederate Heritage Month.
These past few years, Frederick County, and where Winchester is actually, there was a story around in newspapers that they wanted to come and join West Virginia.
Wait, Winchester.
Yes.
That county.
And when they had that major confrontation, the protest over gun rights in Virginia.
Charlottesville? No.
No, when they had that march on Richmond with guns and
Oh,
everything.
yeah.
People, several counties was actually saying, if you do this, we're going to vote to go back to to join West Virginia.
Wait.
Somebody actually drew a map showing all of the southern counties along the North Carolina border going to West Virginia and changing the name Virginia Beach to West Virginia Beach.
Wait, are you confusing your right and left again?
No, I'm not. No. It
Well,
was
how is
actually
there-
some cartoon photos.
Cartoon
It was
photos?
actually somebody took a picture of Virginia, West Virginia. It was on Facebook for a while, this whole thing.
Okay.
Well, if it's on Facebook,
Well,
it's got to be true.
And somebody said, this is what West Virginia's going to look like within the next year.
Well, that might have been a joke, Cameron.
It was still
You
funny.
can't believe everything you see on the internet there, buddy.
True.
No, I don't believe everything. It was interesting to see. Now all these counties in Virginia wanted to join West Virginia.
Did you do your whistle for the people when you gave the lecture?
No, I did not.
You should
I was
have.
very professional with a suit and tie and everything.
I saw the suit and tie.
So what happened here?
Yeah.
There's nothing more professional than a suit and a tie whistling like a train at you, though.
You should. They would have enjoyed it. You should have done that.
No.
All right. Cameron, thank you very much. You just hang out there at the table, pass the microphone around as we go forward.
Two little more things I need
Tim.
to say about this, and one of them is that when the South seceded from the Union initially,
Right.
people were saying, okay, well, let's have an amicable division.
Right.
The people who supported that, one of the issues that came up, and you don't hear much about this because the war broke out, and of course the war ended this discussion, was how is the South, if the United States lets the South leave and form their own country, don't the South have to? Don't they owe us money? Don't they owe us for the infrastructure on all the harbors and the southern ports that the United States government built? And like they should have to buy Fort Sumter from us. Or what's their percentage, or they're going to fork over for their part of the national debt?
I mean, let's say Germany decides they don't want us in Germany anymore, on our installations and everything, right? And I mean, we've done work there since World War II. We've helped them build up and everything like that. If they say get out, and then they actually use some kind of military threat, and surround our whatever, I don't know, I'm just making things up here, and we get out, I mean, what are we going to do? Okay, fine, we'll leave, but you owe us? They'll be like, F you. I mean, there comes a point where you can't negotiate.
We don't even make them pay for the stuff that we give them now.
Thank you. Thank you, Eric.
So, like,
thank you.
When I first went to Germany, we were closing a lot of smaller installations. And we didn't charge the Germans for any of the buildings or infrastructure on those installations. We just gave it to them because we've basically been squatting on their turf for 80 years.
I don't know if we squatted. I mean, we were only over there because some whack job was
but then
wreaking havoc.
And we're still there,
Yeah, we don't need to be there anymore.
And of course, the last thing I wanted to point out in this West Virginia thing is that, I'm from Maryland. In Maryland, in Western Virginia, Western Virginia, there is a civil war going on. In Missouri, people talk about the Civil War, and they talk about guys from Massachusetts fighting against guys from South Carolina. How about guys from Baltimore fighting against guys from Baltimore?
Right.
How about there being violence in the area in which you live that revolves around families and some of the men in the Northern Army and some of the men in the Southern Army? And then, of course, that after the war's over and members of these two armies come back and live amongst each other again, that there's issues.
Yeah.
The Hatfield and McCoys.
And the McCoys. Oh, boy. You got them going.
This is all about the Civil War.
Yes. Yeah. And a pig, right? Wasn't it over a pig?
Oh, God, there's so many stories. That's a whole nother podcast itself.
A whole nother indeed, Cam. Well, you know what time it is, ladies and gentlemen. It is time for Veronica's News, and we're going to do that in 3, 2, 1. Where's my button? There it is. Oh, what's this? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Ronnie and Eric. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, Eric.
How old are you now? How old are you? Look at us all with our party hats. Bunch of idiots. Hey now, hey now, hey now, yeah.
Me on my birthday.
What's that, Cammy?
I thought you'd get me a hat like you did on my birthday.
Well, this is for Eric and Veronica, so I couldn't get a gender-specific one. It's a... Now, hold on, because I also have a cake for you guys, so let me just grab the cake here.
Uh-oh.
Eric looks thrilled.
Eric, I knew Eric would hate this. This is why I'm doing it. This is the cake that we got, and you'll see there's a beautiful...
It's in LSU colors.
Don't spill the cake.
It is your birthday.
It is.
Period. So somebody want to grab
Was that
this?
just in the regular shelf? You could just walk by and grab it.
I grabbed it and I said, "Can you write 'It is your birthday,' period on this?" No exclamation point. Just "It is your birthday." So there you go, guys. Happy birthday. I told you I would do something about that. And I'd like to thank everybody in the room here. Donnie went and got the pizza, and everybody was in on it. We were all acting like, "Oh yeah, your birthday, no big deal." But here we are. And Eric, look at you. You're tearing up from rage.
They're almost made it the whole day, too.
I know.
I really did.
Listen, you're not getting away that easy when I'm around, okay?
Yeah, well.
And when it falls on a show day?
Well, I thought I got really lucky because Facebook finally decided to make my birthday private on my profile.
I noticed it
which
didn't
means
say that.
Nobody gets a
Right.
notification.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
fantastic. It's been a great day. Like no notifications on my Facebook.
by tomorrow, you'll have about 1,000 people who
I'm sure
will
there's a
know it's your
handful in there
birthday. So, yeah. Very good. Very good. Happy birthday. Okay. All right. But no, seriously, now let's get to Ronnie's news.
Or events first.
She's the gal who knows what's going on. So take notes. There's a test at the end. Here's AG Today's lead anchor, Veronica Brestensky, with news, traffic, weather, sidewalk conditions, and what's happening this weekend.
I must have all possible information.
You bitches up for food?
All right. What would you...
That's phenomenal.
By the way, go ahead if you want to start eating, guys. It's sitting over there. But Ronnie, what's going on in the world?
So we kind of touched upon it. Unfortunately, we had a few accidents here in the area this past week. So on Tuesday, well, let me start with the Sunday one. Sunday evening, there was a single car accident. Tim, you might have seen the damage to the, I guess that would be a light pole or light post there at the intersection by the West End Guide Station. And the picture almost shows that the vehicle would have been coming out of off of Reynolds Avenue, almost, but kind of at an angle towards Chambersburg, to the I guess that would be the east. The guy, it was a single vehicle accident. The guy had to be life flighted, so it was pretty serious. But I don't understand how that angle was taken at that speed to cause that. I don't know. We talk about this kind of stuff all the time about the drivers out this area, and it's because I think he's okay.
I think what confuses us is we see the car as it rested.
Right.
We don't see all of the bouncing around it does, and the spinning and the flipping and whatever it may be. Yeah. So I think that's why it's so confusing because we're like, how the hell did that? But it doesn't. But
the damage is visible on the light post up there, but. I mean, that must be one hardy light post. It's barely
the traffic light post you're talking about?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, those are pretty hardy.
Yeah. So anyway, that one, as far as we know, the gentleman's okay. He was life flighted with serious injuries, but unfortunately, there was a fatality. A 31-year-old from York Haven died in a single vehicle accident on Tuesday afternoon around 4 o'clock. There was a 21-year-old driver that sustained minor injuries. But another sad incident, and that was out on York Road, past basically at the intersection towards Granite Schoolhouse.
Oh, okay.
In York.
So. Okay.
Actually, I'll ask Tim to pitch in on this. There was a news article about the Adams County Historical Society receiving some kind of slave registry, I guess from the early 1800s. Is that?
Yeah, that was in yesterday morning's paper. And I have to admit, a couple of people told me about it. I did not know that was going to be in the paper. Andrew, the director of the Adams County Historical Society, went out and posed for it. But basically, the Adams County Courthouse gave us a slave register to be placed on display in our new museum when it's completed. And basically what this is, in 1780, this would be York County, Pennsylvania, the state of Pennsylvania passed an act for the eventual abolition of slavery. Now, over the years, some people point out that, Pennsylvania was one of the first states to abolish slavery. Well, not really. The eventual abolition of slavery stated that everyone who was a slave would remain a slave for the rest of their lives. So it really didn't free anybody. And then it stipulated that children born to slave mothers would be slaves until they turned, I believe it's 28 years of age. So they came with this stipulation. And eventually, everyone would be freed. Yeah. So in our county, we have people that were, slaves born before 1780, and then they were having children in the early 1800s, and those children would be slaves until they turned 28. So we had slaves for a good amount of time after the eventual abolition of slavery. So at some point, and this was when it was York County, each county had to keep track of when slave children were born, because if they didn't keep track of when they're born, how would they know when they turned 28 years of age?
Yeah.
And so at the county level, they kept these records. Now, we do not have the record book from York County from 1780 to 1800, but when Adams County was formed, the Adams County courthouse kept a ledger of when slaves, female slaves gave birth to children. And then they have the date of the child and the slave owner in the record book. And for instance, Reverend Alexander Dobbin has a couple slaves that are listed in the book as giving birth to children. Oh, wow. And so it's a pretty nice register from 1800 till about 1820, if I remember correctly. And it gives the statistics. It's just a phenomenal resource. The problem is it gives the first name of the slave and the date of birth. It has over the years been very difficult for us to take this resource and then tie it to the people who are freed, who were living here in the 1850 or 1860 census or are buried in Lincoln Cemetery. But we have this list, and we're going to put it on display, and the county is very proud to turn it over to us so we can display it.
That's great.
Yeah.
So that was just, I think the article said it was basically just in the basement in storage somewhere.
Yeah, well, the story beyond, the list has been known for many years, and people knew about the list, and we have a copy at the Historical Society. And years ago, a volunteer at the Historical Society, Larry Bowen, wrote an article about Adams County and slavery. And Dr. Charles Gladfelter was the director at that time. And I remember them talking about that this slave register, that the original was somewhere in the courthouse. And so when we were working on the museum, I said to Andrew, hey, I think they have this slave register, this original copy somewhere in the courthouse. And we actually went there to the Prothonotari's office, talked to them about it. They looked for it, and they found it.
Wow.
Huh.
That's really wild.
So it was fascinating.
Yeah.
I hate the word prothonotary because it sounds like you have a list.
Prothonotary.
Yeah. But that is interesting. So it was just sitting there, or was it like hidden deep beneath?
I do not know where they found it.
Oh, okay.
But, I've been, since then, they've let me go through some of their archival holdings. And you might be aware that St. Francis Roman Catholic Church there on High Street had a school next to it, and they closed that school down and they built a new school out on Table Rock Road north of the town, and then the county bought the St. Francis Academy school building from them, and right now that's where all their archives are, in that building.
Ah, so that's the like annex for
and
the
when you walk
courthouse.
out the back door of the courthouse, it's just catty corner across the alley,
Right.
the entrance to that other building, so it's not far for them.
That's interesting.
That is
Yeah,
interesting.
that's what-
All right. All right. So what else you got, Ronnie?
So just to end on a good note, a positive note, if you are a county resident, the Adams County Historical Society, I'm trying to give you guys credit for everything. The Adams County Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals teamed up with Bark, which is a local pet mail service, and also the Greater Good Charities to secure a grant that they're going on Sunday. They're going to be giving away 3,000 dog beds, pet beds. I guess technically you don't have to have a dog, but I think that's what they're there for. So they said that they were trying to do some outreach for the community during COVID, and it was difficult. But this Sunday, if you live in the county, they are giving out one bed per car. Just they don't want people stockpiling these to go sell or anything like that.
Right,
That defeats the purpose. But if you're a pet owner or soon-to-be pet owner, you can go pick up a free pet bed. They can't guarantee sizes, although they will have sizes small through extra large. But it's going to be first come, first serve from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. at the Gettysburg Times parking lot on Fairfield Road.
There you go.
So something kind of cool for the residents.
And if you're an entrepreneur, you get 10 of your closest friends to get their cars, and you go and get 10, and then you go and sell them.
Right.
But no, okay, so that's nice too.
Neat.
So that's the
news.
The news. All right. Well, what's going on this weekend, Ronnie?
This weekend, where the action is. What's there to do and see when you're in town this weekend? Here's Valerie, Veronica to fill you in.
It's all covered.
So not necessarily specific to this weekend, but there have been a plethora of announcements by local, the National Park Service, the Gettysburg Foundation, the Seminary Ridge Museum, Adams County Historical Society has announced their summer and into fall walk schedule. There's all kinds of different organizations. The Civil War Roundtable has announced their calendar for the year. There's some summer walks and things like that. So I would just encourage everybody to go ahead and get involved in the local community. The weather is changing. There's a lot of things that are opening up. Specifically, there was an announcement that the official grand opening for the train station, the virtual reality experience at the train station is going to occur at 10 a.m. on April 29th. There's going to be a ribbon cutting ceremony there, and then tickets will be on sale soon. You can choose one of 3 people to basically virtually tag up with and experience what they experienced. Cornelia Hancock, Eli Blanchard from the 24th Michigan, or local resident Basil Biggs. So I'm kind of interested in seeing how they're putting that all together. I'm excited for that train station opening.
Yeah, that should be pretty neat.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just curious to see how they're going to do it.
Me too.
Apparently Lincoln, you're supposed to be able to interact with him virtually and stuff too. So
Like as he's getting off the train? I would imagine,
yeah,
right?
I mean, something. It has to have something to do with that.
That'd be cool. That'd be cool.
Also this week, it was announced that the Wills House is officially going to be reopening. So, and the good news on that is there's not going to be an entrance fee anymore. So the catch is through June 2nd, starting on Saturday, April 23rd, just Saturday and Sunday it's going to be open.
Okay.
So for the remainder of April, starting on the 23rd, and all of May, just Saturday and Sunday from 1 to 5.
Okay.
But the David Wills House will officially reopen. And then starting on June 2nd, they're going to expand their hours. It will be Thursday through Sunday, 11 to 6, every Thursday through Sunday.
And no admission?
No admission. Yeah, it's going to be operated by the National Park Service as well as some volunteers from Main Street Gettysburg.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
How are they doing that with no admission? When they did admit, did you have to pay before?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Or you had to be a member of the foundation. I think they used foundation memberships then. I don't know.
You had to buy a separate ticket for it. Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I never went into it. But so
I don't know. I mean, it says a National Park Service. I don't know if it'll be a volunteer too. They obviously have their own volunteers as well. I don't know if it'll be a ranger. I don't know how they're staffing it, but in conjunction with Main Street Gettysburg, that's who's going to be.
Well, that's great.
Yeah.
That's good. I think everything that's good.
Yeah.
That's very good to hear.
Real quick, the National Park Service announced that the Living History is going to be returning as well. Their opening weekend is going to be May 14th and 15th with the Potomac Home Brigade Infantry Program. It's going to be at Auto Stop 13, Saturday and Sunday of that weekend, and then throughout October, we're going to be welcoming living historians back to in camp and teach about different tactics and artillery skills and all kinds of stuff. So that's exciting news for the National Park Service as well. Finally, in terms of the National Park Service and the foundation, the resource room at the Visitor Center, which has been closed since COVID, it's a place where you can literally go and access Fold 3, Ancestry, Penn State's Civil War Project. Basically, there's a big computer system, 7 or 8 computers in there, and the resource room is officially back open. Through April, it'll be open Saturdays and Sundays, and then come May, it's going to be open every day again. And that's going to be staffed with volunteers from the foundation.
At the VC?
At the VC.
Okay.
So it's over kind of where the coat map is.
Yeah, by the Ford room.
Yeah, exactly. There's a room right there. And
so was that prior to COVID? Was that still up?
Yeah.
Oh, it was still up.
Yeah.
Okay. 'Cause for some reason, I thought they had done away with it.
I thought it closed down like a year or two before the COVID.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, maybe I remember seeing it open.
Yeah.
Well, that's it. It was either closed down or just never open.
Yeah.
But not closed. It was all still there, but you couldn't use it.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Okay.
And
well, that's good. I'm glad because I thought that's a really cool thing.
It is a pretty cool thing.
That's what I want to know.
Yeah, that's another one.
And that's the disclosure or disclaimer that it's not the archive room. It's not the library. But
on that vein, the Park Library has been closed for a long time, and they're going to still keep that closed. During COVID, John Heiser, who was a librarian, the Park Service librarian, retired.
Right.
And as far as I know, they haven't
replaced
his position.
Maybe Cam.
So they don't have a park librarian.
Why don't you ask him if you can have that job?
Cameron can't be a librarian.
Yeah, I don't know.
Do you know the Dewey Decimal System?
Cameron can't be a librarian.
Oh, that's interesting.
You have to be quiet.
Did they use the Dewey Decimal System or use the Library of Congress system?
Oh, yeah. What system do you know?
Just a regular library.
The Dewey Decimal System?
The Dewey Decimal System. Yeah.
What is the Library of Congress call number for the Battle of Gettysburg?
Ooh, that's a tough one right there.
To get to look at the books in there. So.
I don't even know what just happened.
I love listening to Cam. I don't care what he says.
So,
that
mic doesn't work, dingbat.
Let him talk into
One other
it.
thing,
It's fine.
I noticed, and I've been noticing this, and I don't know where it was advertised, that besides Facebook, but there's History Meets the Arts have some kind of get-together this weekend at Gettysburg Fire Hall.
Right.
And I have to be 100% honest, I didn't look into that too much. I know Jeff Shara was there signing some of his books. I know there is artwork on display.
There was a time when that was a really big deal in the town, History Meets the Arts, and, that's something that seems like it's not as popular as it used to be.
Yeah.
History Meets the Arts. It's not as popular. Is that what you're saying?
That's my observation. Maybe I'm wrong.
Right?
I remember it used to be a big deal.
Yeah,
but
I don't upset the artists.
They've got the Spring Militaria show out at the Eisenhower Complex this weekend.
That's going
too.
on.
Right,
There's a lot.
What show is that?
Oh man,
that's
it's awesome.
Wait, what? You said the Militarius?
The Spring Militaria show.
Oh,
it's like a flea market kind of, but it's all like
that's phenomenal.
It's all military stuff. It's great. I can't wait to go.
That's cool.
Excuse me, sorry. Didn't mean to cough. I have a question. Where's Donnie?
He stepped out.
Why is he outside? Donnie! I told him to wait outside, wait for the queue with the pizza and everything, but he doesn't have to stay out there the whole time. Anyway, you were saying, what were we talking about? I lost it already. I was trying to get Donnie back in.
I think we were talking about History Meets the Arts.
Oh yeah, History Meets. Yeah, I remember History Meets the Arts being a big deal, and I haven't noticed it since I've moved back. What were you doing out there? I wasn't exiling you. I was just. Oh, okay.
It's like a sauna in here.
It is. I know. Well, you can open the door. Let's get some air in. Open the door.
Washes out Veronica.
It's fine. What?
And Veronica.
What? I can't hear anything of these.
What did you say, Don? You got to speak in the mic.
So. You either.
What?
All right. The antithesis to Cam.
I know. Cam can't stop talking. Donnie can't talk.
Cam, sprinkle some of that magic pixie dust on him, man.
You can't get him to start. Hey, Donnie, I did want to talk to you, though, on the show because you're, this is your first time on a show.
Yes.
Like in the room. You were on Patreon on the phone.
Yes.
But now you're in the room. And you are the genius behind American Civil War IG. So many followers, and people want to know, what is your secret? Just move closer to her mic.
Longevity.
That sounds a little personal. I'm asking, what is your secret to success? Not.
I mean, I've posted every single day for 5.5 years.
There you go.
Now,
so consistency.
Yeah.
Yeah. Consistency breeds longevity.
Over a long time. Yeah, I can track it now.
There you go. Well, very good, Donnie. Thank you very much for all your help today and everything like that and all that
My
stuff,
pleasure.
too. All right. So I think, is that all you got for what's coming up, Ronnie?
Just real quick. So Eric mentioned the Militaria thing. Also at the Heritage Center this weekend, there's a couple authors. Leon Reed is going to talk about monuments. There's 2 different sessions, and there's a gentleman named, I think it's David Luce. He's also going to be talking about monuments on the Gettysburg battlefield. So go ahead and check out the Heritage Center website for details on that. And real quick, the Park Service did announce that because of weather, you mentioned that we had like rainstorms for the last several days.
Yes.
They had originally scheduled some intermittent temporary closings of all of the observation towers in the park for like
repairs.
Engineering inspections. Those were originally supposed to happen from the 4th through the 8th. That has now been bumped back through the 11th through the 13th, so Monday through Thursday.
I saw them doing that. One guy was like hanging on some harness, and it looked look like a fun job if you weren't afraid of heights.
Oh,
I'm
on
afraid
that
to
same
walk up.
vein, the park has pushed back the closing of Little Round Top a little bit.
Yes,
so that's
that is
still up
true.
in the air. So people who are out there probably in the public who believe Little Round Top is closed to the public because that's what we have been told.
Yeah.
No, it's not closed yet, and it's not going to close for at least another month or so. So you still got an opportunity to come and hang out a Little Round Top. Now, Devil's Den, of course, is closed, and they're working on the pathways through Devil's Den.
I would say to the people who've been like, oh, well, I guess we're not going to Gettysburg this year because they're closing it. Well, you got a little extra time, and I wouldn't be surprised if they put it off to another. I mean, what was it? The last time that if they had stayed on schedule to give the guide exam would have been in 2019, and they've been kicking it down the road every year since. So
Yeah,
they
and
might
I think
kick
they
this.
pretty much decide not to do it anytime. They've decided. The last I heard it, they talked about they're not going to do it. Definitely not
Ever.
this year, and I don't know about next year.
Yeah, it's. I used to joke like I'll be 50 by the time I get a license, but I was saying that because I'll fail several times before I get it. But I think I won't even get a chance until I'm 50, which is not. Unfortunately, it's not too far away.
Yeah,
it's only like 7 years away.
I mean, I don't know if I have an answer when people say, "Well, when do you think they'll close Little Round Top?" I don't know. They
don't
do
know.
push things back.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I guess it depends on a lot of factors that I am unaware of.
Yeah, the bottom line is get out here now while you still can. And because most likely, I mean, my guess is that when you do hear about the definitive date that Little Round Top is closing, it'll literally be 6 hours before it closes. So you can
that tracks.
Just take it. Yeah, take it.
But again, you've made the point, rightfully so. That's not the only area of the battlefield. There's so much more, even to the town and to the local area, to see and to experience.
No, there's not.
It's an opportunity for you to see what.
Hey, let me put this little plug in. If you're looking for somewhere to eat on Easter, the Farnsworth House is having their Easter buffet. So go ahead and make your reservations as well. Mom and I are going to be there. So.
Oh, very nice. You could maybe have Easter dinner with Veronica and Kath.
Who doesn't want that?
I know. I'm going to a friend's house, so I won't be able to join you, but that'll be fun. Well, the last time on Thanksgiving I joined you, and there was a couple of listeners there.
Yeah.
That we didn't say hi to because we didn't want to disturb her, and she didn't come say hi to us. And the other one sat right next to us.
Yeah.
So that worked out fine. Yeah. All right. Well, very good. Veronica, Eric, happy birthday, guys. Thank you all for listening. Thank you, Tim. Thank you, Donnie and Steve and Cam and Ty and Mike Lentz and Colby and Taylor's hiding in the corner there. Thank you all. We'll see you tomorrow on the tour.
Addressing Gettysburg Today is hosted by Matt Callery and Veronica Brestensky, Esquire. Produced by Eric, the producer, Moni. Applause led by Owen the Clabber. Guests of Addressing Gettysburg Today stay wherever they want. That's not our concern. To be a guest on the show, send an email to eric@addressinggettysburg.com. Addressing Gettysburg broadcasts from the Gettys Bike Tour Studios. Get a 15% discount on your next tour with Gettys Bike. I'm Huevos Grande, the voice of Addressing Gettysburg Today. Thanks for listening.
There were many Union men who wept with joyful tears when they saw the honored flag they had not seen for years. Hardly could they be restrained from breaking forth in cheers while we were marching through Georgia. Hurrah, hurrah, we bring the Jubilee. Hurrah, hurrah, the flag that makes you free. So we sang the chorus from Atlanta to the sea while we were marching through Georgia. While we were marching through Georgia. While we were marching through Georgia.
If it looks like a duck, walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, it's not a chicken.
This concludes our broadcast day.